Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the title. Video games are ruining your fertility. They're lowering your sperm count. It's lowering how capable your sperm is. It's literally killing you. It's literally killing you, video games. I've already talked about the first concept of this video in a prior video. Obviously, the testosterone playlist will be linked below. It'll have all the videos I've ever talked about testosterone, fertility, and how you can improve your life and improve yourself through improving and managing your testosterone just a little bit better. Because it'll make a great difference in the long run. Especially if you're young. But I don't want to stall telling you about this. I really don't want to, so I'm going to go straight into the video. The first reason why video games are killing your fertility is because of the connection. Even if you've got a wired controller, if you've got some sort of controller, I guarantee you don't hold it like this, up here near your head. You hold it down here near your crotch. And for anybody who doesn't know, to connect the controller, there's going to be some radiation coming off of it. Some sort of radiation, right? Because it needs to connect. And the reason I'm mentioning this first is because I think it is the least significant point on this entire list. Because you might think, if I've got a wired controller, then no, it doesn't. And it probably doesn't, you're right. It might emit like a little bit. So for me, it's very difficult to say whether or not this actually happens. But because of what your phone does when it's in your pocket, and like connecting to the stations and channels so you can get 4G and internet access and what's not, I believe the same thing happens with your console, with your controllers, with your laptops, with everything. It needs to connect to something. It needs to connect. Your controller needs to connect to the console. So I believe it emits a radiation, and radiation obviously isn't good for your sperm. Let's just say that. It's really not good for your sperm. So one way to mitigate this is don't play video games. I think it's the only way to mitigate this, as a matter of fact. Even if I hold the controller here, it's still going to need to connect and emit radiation all around the room. So I think the best way to mitigate this from happening, mitigation for anybody who doesn't know, is means we're stopping it from happening. We're solving the issue. Yeah, mitigation means we're solving the issue. So in order to solve this issue, the best way is just don't play video games. Point number one. Point number two, because like I said, today I'm blitzkrieging through these points. I'm going very quick because I want to give you quick value. I don't want to drag on this video, it doesn't need to drag. So point number two, like I said, is it's got batteries inside. Even if you have a wired controller, if you play with a controller, it's got batteries inside. And for anybody who doesn't know what batteries do, I have a very interesting story to tell you. Whenever I get out the shower, the humidity of the air, the gas particles in the air, turn back into water, land on the walls. They condensate on walls, windows, roofs, everything. Roofs, ceilings, you know what I mean. And we have this light just above the mirror, a very small light that hardly works, and it has like a little point here where the batteries go. And it's interesting for me to analyse, but I've noticed it always is a circle of dryness around the battery. And I noticed last night it's the same around the light we have. There's like a light, and there's a bigger circle around it, literally going around the light where it's dry. I put my hand there, it's dry. I put my hand next to it, it's wet. It's really, really interesting for me to analyse this, because this means that batteries literally repel moisture. At least in my belief, they repel moisture. And the reason this is related to your nards is because the batteries are inside the controller and you're holding it right here next to your dick. I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, I hope. But essentially, you're holding it right next to your ding. The batteries are going to be almost repelling and expelling moisture, because they do so in the shower. When the gas particles in the air land on the floor, there's always a circle around. So why wouldn't it do the same with your sperm? Why wouldn't it do the same with that sperm inside? And even if it doesn't repel it, who says it's not killing it? Who says those batteries aren't killing it? Because they're clearly expelling something. They're clearly repelling something. They're giving us some sort of force field or energy, the batteries are. So who says they're not killing the sperm, even if they're not moving it away as such? Who says they're not killing it? I believe that batteries are killing your sperm. Even greater than the radio technology waves. Even that's why you put your phone in your pocket, your sperm count decreases. I think it's the battery. not so much the connection. I don't know if there's any scientific studies on this, there might be, but this is my contrary belief. And I'd suggest you take the same action. Well, I'd hope so, because otherwise the sperm count's going to keep coming down. There's certainly something inside of a controller and a phone that will decrease your sperm count. And I think batteries is the biggest one. I think the batteries inside of the controller, like I said, are either removing any moisture or they are killing the sperm inside of this weird magnetic battery force field that they have, which clearly just doesn't like any moisture at all. And point number 3 is your controllers are made out of fucking plastic. If you need a reminder on what plastic is and why it's so bad, I'd suggest you watch the first video on my testosterone playlist, because that video I talk about why clothes are killing you. And I'll give you a slight hint if you want to the video, it's plastics. In that video, I explain a lot of what plastics do to you and your sperm count in your body. So if you need an insight as to why plastic's so bad, you can go watch the plastic video in the testosterone playlist. It's literally the first video in the link in the description that goes to my playlist. It literally says, so you can go check that out. And for those loyal fans who have made it to this unfiltered section, if you so say, you have not been completely fried and fucked by dopamine. You have at least a little bit of a brain left, a little bit of a cognitive brain left to be able to focus on something. Like I can focus on recording and speaking so well for 7 minutes. It's not even fucking difficult, but you lot make it difficult, right? Sorry, you lot. Nah, you lot don't make it difficult. The dickheads make it difficult to focus. If you've focused this long, I want to invite you to my brotherhood. Our allegiance is what I started. It's the Discord server in the link in the description, and it's for my most loyal of fans. I want you to be there because you are a loyal fan if you watch this far into the video. You clearly care, even somewhat a little bit. Not so much about me, but you even care about yourself. To be able to focus on a video that's actually going to improve your life. You clearly care about yourself, brother. So let me give you a little bit of a hand. I won't keep selling this concept to you. I won't keep selling my Discord to you. I also have an Instagram if you want to DM me and ask any questions. My DM's always open. I'll be happy to answer you, brother. I'm always happy to help. See you tomorrow.